Next, we're going to go through basic mixing and routing. Mixing in Pro Tools involves working with elements of audio signal flow, including inputs, outputs, buses, and inserts and sends for purposes of submixing and mixdown. In addition to the final mixdown, mixing tasks can occur anytime during a session. In fact, I personally prefer a mix-as-I-go approach, where I'm always trying to make things sound final as they're being recorded, or as I'm getting sounds. During mixing, real-time plugins and hardware inserts provide effects and signal processing, along with routing to sends and buses. So let's go through the more common uses of our audio track types. Let's start off with standard audio tracks. Make a new track, choose mono audio track. Now, one of the most common ways you can use an audio track is for recording acoustic instruments, like drums, acoustic guitar, or vocals. Let's record a vocal. We'll name it, set up our input. Our mic is plugged into input 5, which we can rename by right-clicking. And now we can go into record and record some vocals.
I don't know if I can do anything more without you.
Pretty simple. Now, another thing you do with an audio track is record hardware electronic instruments, like a drum machine or a synth. Let's do that. Rename it synth. Change our input to where the synth is plugged in, input 6. And we can rename that. Check our input, make sure it's getting level. And let's record it. Pretty basic and simple. And finally, we can use audio tracks for placing audio to be played back, like drum samples. Here's a kick sample, drop it in, or a snare, and create our own drum beat just using samples. Name it kick, and snare. Go into grid mode, and just like that, we have a drum pattern. We can also use them for loops. Delete all this, drop in a drum loop, and finally, for effects. So they make great playback devices for our pre-recorded audio.